Welcome to the first episode of my podcast, Higher Elevation Podcast. Welcome in. So glad to have you here and can't wait to sit down and discuss with you the first episode. So, I'm talking today about chronic disappointment. I don't think anyone really prepares us for chronic disappointment. I don't really think life prepares us for chronic disappointment. So, what is chronic disappointment? Well, let me break it down for you. It's those situations in life that kind of punches us in the gut. It's the situations that happen one after the other. So you lost a parent to grief and loss. Then, right after you lost that parent, your job tells you that they're cutting down on some hours. And then, after that, something ends up happening between you and your significant other. That is what I call chronic disappointment. And maybe not just what I call, but that is what is chronic disappointment. It really takes a toll on our mental. It really takes a toll on our self-esteem, on our confidence when we continue to go through these disappointments. And the question is, what do we do when we're facing chronic disappointment? As a Christian, we're told to pray, 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 and read your Bible. And I agree, those things do help, praying and reading your Bible. But as a mental health therapist, I also think coping skills also help when these chronic situations come up. Now, alongside chronic disappointment, we can also talk about complex trauma because sometimes chronic disappointment and complex trauma go hand in hand. And our complex trauma is traumatic events that happen back to back for us. So it could be a history of sexual assault for a woman and multiple sexual assaults happening. It could be a history of substance use and some of the chronic situations that go along with substance use. So many different complex traumas out there. Everybody's trauma is different from someone else's, but the way it makes it complex is that it is not just one trauma that occurred. It's many different trauma that occurs sometimes over a period of years, sometimes back to back. We find that a lot of people who face complex trauma, sometimes they are the ones that we see that get stuck in certain life situations. These are the individuals also that can end up being resilient, right? They can end up saying, okay, I've gone through this trauma, but I'm going to seek help, get help. I'm going to talk about it. I'm not going to allow this trauma to completely eradicate, who I am and who I was meant to be. So let's go back to chronic disappointment. Now that you know, okay, this sounds, Monique, this kind of sounds like me. This kind of sounds familiar, or I have gone through this, or I know of someone who has gone through this. You're speaking my language. So what do I do, right? What, who can I seek for help? What kind of help should I be looking for? Is this something that I really need help for? Because I've been able to navigate these streets for a while. I've been able to navigate feeling just down or sad, and it's just been my new normal or my normal, right? So if you're facing chronic disappointment, there is help out there. There's many different mental health providers, I'm sure, in your city, in your state, maybe if you're international, in your country, that you can seek services for. I am a coach. I deal with trauma and spiritual coaching. So, hey, you can seek me. Go on my website, www.higherelevationcoach.com. I'd be happy to help you and assist you to navigate coping skills and to talk about these things. But if you feel like I'm not ready for therapy, well, there are lifelines that you can call. There's crisis lifeline. There's a suicide prevention lifeline. There are free resources if you are in the state of Florida, I know you can call 211, and that is a free resource to get more assistance for help that is out there. But here's a coping skill that you can do. I'm giving you a coping skill for free because I like you and I want to see you succeed, right? And plus, I want you to come back and listen to the other podcasts that I will be doing over the next couple months, right? Or however long it's going to be. But one coping skill that you can do, you can take a piece of paper and you can begin to write out all of the disappointments that you faced, right? Every disappointment you can remember. If it was when you were 1 year old to now you are 35, write them all out. So you're going to write everything down. Then on the other side of the paper, you're going to write how you were able to overcome some of these disappointments that you faced in life. That is a really good coping skill because it helps you to see that you are stronger than you think. You are more resilient than you think. You have navigated some of these things on your own without anyone's help, right? And after you do that coping skill, you wrote everything down, you wrote your strong points. Now get another piece of paper and write down why you feel that you may need some help to navigate some of these disappointments, some of the ones that are just not going away, the ones that you think about late at night, the ones that you cry over, some of the ones that keep haunting your dreams. These are the ones that is pressing and you definitely want to get immediate help for. So don't fear. There is help out there for you. I do care about your mental health and I want to see you live a life that is happy, that is joyful, and that you can be content with at the end of the day. A wise person said to me, many wise people, but this is the one thing that really stuck to me. One of my friends, she always says, if you go in the direction of what you want, you will get there. You will get what you want. And if you are going in the direction of getting your healing, of applying the skills necessary to get your healing, you will get what you want. So tune in next week for another episode. Once again, this was on chronic disappointment. And thank you for stopping by. Please like, comment, share this content, and tune in for more.